birthday, right? Yesterday. Give it up for Steve. And we were talking before everybody was here, and Steve was just sharing, like, you know, he was reflecting and his gratitude and all that stuff. And I don't know, Steve, maybe you touch on it a little bit, bro, because it inspired me a bit, bro. It made me feel good and warm and fuzzy inside. And
Well, that was a hard, because it just came from the heart when I was talking. Like you know, we were discussing earlier. We were just talking about, this is half a decade of just doing, just being out here doing what I do. And a lot of times there was points in my life where I didn't even think I would be here. I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I grew up an only child, and I was a bad boy. Realistically, I was a really bad boy, but it was a lesson that I had to learn, and it what brought me to where I'm at now. And I have a great family. I have 3 great kids. One is actually, getting his PhD right now, which I would never thought. Someone like me to be able to have kids that are going through college, doing all this great stuff, and from a hard knocks type of person. And that's what we were discussing, that what I'm really grateful for and blessed is just to be able to be here, be able to wake up in the morning and thank God that I'm still here, and that I'm able to pass everything that I've learned to everyone out here. Whether if it's just saying hi, or just helping someone open a door, or picking up groceries, or whatever the case may be. That is the blessing that I think I've been able to give. More than money, more than fame, more than anything, because that can all come and go. The one thing that you can never take from me is the passion that I have to help others and to help build people up. And that's what I love doing. I love building people up. I love helping an agent get their first deal. And I've done that quite a bit here. So there's so much more to give than just money, and that's the thing that I took out from a half a decade of life. And I just got more to give, and I'm going to continue giving. And I just look forward to my next 20, 30 years as much as I can.
Let's go. Yeah. I love that, man. That made me feel good. Because you know what was funny is a confession that I have, guys. Every time I come to the office, like for our Tuesday meeting, I have a little bit of anxiety, right? Because like I'm trying to prep. There's going to be people here. Sometimes we have guests, stuff like that. I have an agenda that I got to go over, and I'm like, hey, I got to perform. I got to bring it. You know what I mean? So I'm always a little bit on edge, or you'll fluster, a little nerves or whatever. And so what I like to do is I like to sit in the car. So if you ever see me sitting in the car, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll journal for like 5 minutes in my phone. I'll just write like how I'm feeling, what I'm grateful for. And so when I pulled up, that's what I did. Like 5 minutes. Just a little quick note to myself. And it made me think about this past year. Like, man, like 2025 was an awesome year for me. You know what I mean? Team did great. We have a lot of great people, but my family's doing good. My kids are doing good. I got engaged, all these different things that are going on. And it made me think about like what Steve was saying. So when he shared that, I'm like, dude, I was just like thinking the same thing right now, right? As we get older, it's not about like the money or the deals or anything. It's just about like, if everyone around you is good and the people closest to you are good, and I think that's the biggest blessing, right? And being able to pass this stuff on. So I loved what you said, man, because it really resonated with me this morning, man. So one more time for Steve, man. Let's go, bro. Happy birthday, brother. A lot of wisdom there. All right, well, let's kick it off. I need 2 or 3 volunteers for positive focus. What are you feeling good about? Let's think about this past year, right? Maybe let me rephrase the question. We usually do positive focus for the week, but maybe what's one thing that went really great in your business that you're grateful for, or maybe one thing that went great personally, right, that you're grateful for? Talk to me, Matt.
I have some positive feedback in terms of a small investment. So actually, I didn't invest in it at all. It was actually a Christmas gift. It was an iPad, right? And I'm like, hey, I'm going to use this any chance I get, right? So met with some clients from Zillow, right? And on the spot, they're like, we don't like this home. And I was already prepared. I had some homes, similar listings. I'm like, okay, well, check it out. We can go look at this, this, and that. And I handed it to them, and they were just like, I could tell, like, in their mind, in that moment, I separated myself from any other agent they work with.
Yeah.
So that was just a quick, I don't even, blessing, I guess, of this thing that I knew would have some positive impact. So
let's go. That's awesome, man. So you got that as a gift, or you bought it for yourself?
Yeah.
This is a gift to yourself.
It's my wife.
Oh, okay, your wife got it for you, and now you're already using it out in the field, right?
Yeah. So super cool and good way to say something.
That's dope, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Patrick, talk to me.
Positive focus. Well, this year I'm actually tackling down all my goals. I know when we had our, team meeting during on Thursday about like what I should do coming into 2026. And I actually took my first open house, which is Blanca's in Foxglove. So, keeping on top of that. But I also want to shout out, like, it's been helping me, or it's encouraging me to help out Marielos and Megana because they participated in that open house. And Megana had some questions, Marielos had some questions. And it felt uplifting to help them out and really help them shadow like what a great open house is and how to lead clients into the home and how to do a proper open house. And it just felt even more grateful knowing that like Magana by herself and she felt more comfortable than she's ever done. And I huge success in that.
Let's go. That's awesome, guys. Love the collaboration. Good job on stepping up. Good job, ladies. Madi, what do you got?
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year's. Well, first of all, I just want to say that, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say that I'm thankful for my family, for my kids, that we are healthy, and I'm also thankful because I'm part of this team, which I feel more comfortable now. I'm learning a lot. And now that Patrick mentioned it, I'm really thankful for him because he has been so much supportive with me and giving me that energy, and it's just helping me so much. So I feel more positive than I was in the beginning. I feel lost, and with him, it's making it more and much easier. So thank you so much, Patrick.
Let's go. Let's give it up for that. I love that. I love that. I love the collaboration, guys. It's funny, I was listening to a podcast this morning while I was getting ready, and it was Tony Robbins, and he was talking about, he said something along the lines of like, the key to life is fulfillment in helping other people or giving back. You know what I mean? Like, you can do so many things for yourself, but it doesn't feel as good as when you help somebody else, right? You guys all agree, right? When you're able to help someone, whether it's big or small, that's like really the ultimate, gratification there, right? And so I love that Patrick is stepping up, and being a leader. He's done great this year individually as his business, and now he's able to pass on and help some of the other agents as well. So it's just awesome, Patrick, and I'm sure that makes you feel good, right? When you're able to help other people also, right? Yeah.
100%.
So yeah, so just keep that going, guys. That's really what we're about and what we're trying to build here. Let's get one more, guys. Who else has something? Business, personal, maybe think about the past year. What was the highlight? What was the highlight, or what's something you feel good about, you're proud about? Nargisa, talk to me.
Well, I avoided all the time, like picking up the phone and calling people. So my positive focus says, like, I got comfortable on calling people, to strangers.
There we go. You're getting comfortable. And I've heard your calls. You're good on the phone. So that's awesome. So now it's easier now, right? After you've done it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's give it up for Nargisa, guys. Did someone raise their hand over here? I thought I saw somebody.
Yeah, I also wanted to add, I didn't just like look at an iPad and like, oh, this is the best agent ever. They actually selected a few homes and we went and looked at them, and it gave us more time for me to get to know them and see what, how picky they were, and they were like super open about it. So it was really cool how it just extended the day.
Yeah.
Like we were looking at homes until the sun went down. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah, it was cool.
What's funny is what has been lost in our time is putting people in your car.
Yeah.
Right? Like back in the day, that's how you would do it. When you would go show homes, someone would jump in your car and then you guys would be riding around together, right? We don't do that anymore. But think about how much of a connection you build when someone's in your car and you get to chit chat in between the showings and stuff like that, right? Make sure your car's clean if you're going to put someone in your car. But I would highly suggest, like, if you're comfortable with doing that, or maybe after you met them for the first showing and you're like, all right, these people are cool. Why not pick them up? Why not say, hey, we're going to meet at Starbucks or whatever, and then you guys ride with me and we'll go take a tour and drop you off. But think about how much you will build rapport with them and how much they're going to want to continue to work with you, right? If that's a positive experience. So,
We should do that. The kids will be in the car, everybody will be in the car, and the
Yeah.
kids will be following us.
exactly. All right, guys, let's kick it off into some stuff. So I wanted to, since it's the new year, we're going to go through just kind of seeing how we ended the last year. Was putting the numbers together for our team just to see where we were at. And so these are the numbers that we ended up with for 2025. So closed and pending, guys, 113 transactions for 118 million. That's 107 close, 10 million pending. We have 5 active listings right now for a little over 4 million, and we have 8 listings coming soon for a little over 7 million. So our total production, guys, for 2025 with close, pending, active, and coming soon is right around 130 million, right? Which is kind of right on the dot of where I thought we would be, right? I thought we would be somewhere like in the 110, the 120, or 115, somewhere in there. And so I feel really good about that, guys. And I just want everyone to just get a round of applause, you know, just for making it happen this year. Some of you guys are newer and maybe haven't contributed yet. Some of you guys have been here and really contributed to that number. But really, it's a team effort, guys. And I think what I look at is these past couple of years have really been a turning point in real estate, right? If we have to be honest, it hasn't been the easiest last few years industry-wide, right? Those of you guys that have been in it have noticed it, right? So I feel like we kind of had to take a step back and start ramping back up. And right now, coming into the new year, I feel like we're ramped up, right? A lot of people are winning. A lot of our new agents are starting to have success now. A lot of our senior agents are now like coasting and really have a pipeline that's been built. And so I think like this is just the beginning. And I think there's no reason why we can't really exceed that number this year, right? And if we want to exceed that number, it's going to be a combination of a couple things. It's going to be a combination of our existing agents stepping up, right? And just really pushing their production. And then it's also going to be a combination of bringing on new people as well, because we grow through those two things, right? We grow by bringing on new agents who are like-minded and who are about what we're about. And then we grow by everybody stepping up in their production. So I just really want you guys to kind of think about that. Obviously, each person wants to step up in their own production, but also think about who are the partners you would like to see on our team? When you're out there, you guys are dealing with agents. You guys are talking to people. Yeah, we're not a good fit for everybody, but there's people out there where you're like, man, this person would be good. They would contribute to our team. You know, make those, you know, calls, you know, send those text messages, do the introductions, you know. There's a benefit for you guys, obviously, through EXP and revenue share. But I think the bigger benefit is that the more players that we get that are committed, just the more overall success we're going to have as a team, right? And who doesn't want to be on a championship team, right? So that's going to come by us all contributing to that, right? Anything to add to that, Jay?
No, I think, you know, especially with what we've developed within this past year, we really focused on, you know, our hello day, which we spent a lot of time with that. We spent, you know, we focused on, you know, the launch day and then holding everybody accountable. I think those pieces are in place so that you guys as agents have confidence that you know that if you do introduce someone to the team, that they're going to get well trained, they're going to have the tools, they're going to have the culture, right? So I think it's also, you know, you guys have to believe that, you know, the leadership and Enrique and I have put these tools in place so that you feel comfortable bringing people to our office and bringing them to our company, right? And I think, you know, even with Enrique and I going forward, we're making, you know, some adjustments on who we do plan on bringing on to the team. You can see even at the end of the year, I had some one-on-ones with some of the agents, making sure everyone knew what the expectations are. Because again, like Enrique says, everybody wants to be around, we want to be around winners, or we want to be around people that are pushing to be better, right? So that's something that I'm really striving to do, Enrique striving to do this year,
is that to create that environment where everyone is working hard, everyone is striving to be better, and so that we can have that championship team.
Yeah. And to do that, guys, that may require, I mean, that's going to require us raising the standards, right? The barrier of entry. Who do we bring onto the team,
Yeah.
right? What do we allow, right? If there's someone that's just consistently not performing or not showing up or just not engaging, like, does that person really belong on our team,
Yeah.
right? Because the more people that we bring on like that, it takes away opportunity from the other people who are here and who are trying to get after it, right? You know, and so we're really like reconsidering like who we bring on the team. If they're brand new and they haven't closed a deal yet, then there's certain boxes that has to be checked off if we're going to allow them to be on the team, right? And even if they're seasoned, right? Like, or someone that's seasoned, sometimes that's hard too. Are they coachable? Are they willing to learn a new system? Are they willing to learn the systems that we have, right? And so just being, there's going to be a stronger filter on who we let on or who we let stay on for the benefit of the whole entire organization, right? Raise your hand if you think that's a good idea, like really just tightening things up, right?
And again, I think it's, you know, the accountability goes two ways, guys, two ways in the sense of, you know, we're not doing an agent. They're not benefiting if they're not performing, or if they're not utilizing the tools, if they're just hanging their license. We're not looking for people just to hang their license. Right? There's other brokers out there that charge a desk fee that'll allow you to hang their license. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people where I want to be able to pour into you guys, and Enrique can pour into you guys, and we can support you so you guys can hit your goals. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's just finding that right fit, you know, and that's what we're going to be striving for in 26.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Like yesterday, I had an agent who I talked to that was interested in our team. And I'm like, hey, you know, it was a good conversation. I'm like, hey, let's get you on our orientation, right? We have a hello day. And she's like, all right, I can make it. And then I said, it's from 2 to 4. It's online. It's this Wednesday. She goes, well, is it okay if like I'm on the go during the presentation? You know, I might be driving, or I might, you know, be on the go or whatever. And I'm like, dude, like, what kind of question is that, right? Like you're saying you're serious about your business, but then you like, you can't be in front of your computer. You know what I mean? You're going to be on the go. Right. And I'm like, no, it's not okay. Right. You know, and I'm like, you know, I'd rather you be focused. Your camera needs to be on. You need to be interacting, stuff like that. And so she's like, all right, well, you know, then I'll get back to you. I'm like, we don't need people like that. Right. Like if you're not going to take it serious, how are we going to take you serious? Right. So it's just little things like that, guys. And so I think in the past, when we were just looking to grow, we'd be like, yeah, just jump on. Yeah, it's all right if you're on the go. It's all right if your camera's off and stuff. And that's on us. You know what I mean? But it's like going forward, I think that only hurts us, right? If we like allow certain things like that, you know? So that was just a funny example I thought I'd share. But it's all positive, guys. It's all positive. We're moving in the right direction. We're coming into the year, guys, with 10 deals pending, right? So about 11 million. And we have 13 listings between our active and coming soon. We just got 2 deals pending already this year in the first week. And so we're coming in with some momentum, guys, right? Several listings that are going on the market and several listings that are on the market right now. And so I'm excited because there's just a lot of opportunity that's going to come from that, right? Any questions, guys, about the production, about where we're at and stuff like that? Any comments, any feedback?
On the mortgage side, we did about 36 million.
About 36 mil. Nice. Roughly how many units was that?
I believe it was like 40.
And we're doing 100% financing on the client right now in Hollister.
Nice. 100%
It
finance.
says 50, like 51 loans.
About 50 deals, right?
About 36 million.
Awesome. Okay, so what I want to look at, guys, is just where do we stand with inventory, right? Coming into the new year. I mean, we always track kind of where inventory is at. It's pretty low right now, right? So the lowest I've seen in a while. Single family, this is Santa Clara County, 542 active single family homes and 498 townhouses and condos, right? So we have about 1,000, give or take, active inventory between single family, townhouse, and condo in Santa Clara County, which is expected, right? During the Christmas time, it typically drops off and then it starts picking back up as we get back into the new year, right? So I anticipate that number to be going up, come in the rest of this month, February, March, we'll really see the uptick, right? 287 deals that are pending for SFRs, 177 for condos. And then in the last 30 days, there's only been about 600 sales between single family and condos in the last 30 days in Santa Clara County. So it definitely slowed down, right? Slowed down as we expect during the holiday season. What does this mean to you guys, right? I think these are important conversations that you have when you're out talking to your buyers and sellers. You got to let them know, hey, this is where it's at, but this is not where it's going to be in a month or two, right? Because then from there, you can gauge whether do they need to act now or is it okay for them to wait? It depends on their situation. I met with the seller. I had a listing appointment on New Year's Eve, and they called me and they're like, hey, do you think it's going to get better? Like in the next couple months, do you think the prices are going to go up in the next year or two? And I'm like, maybe, but not enough to change your situation, right? Like, I put some info in Slack of like what the predictions are for this year. 3 to 5% appreciation is what economists are predicting this year. Yeah. They're saying this year is going to be still kind of a flat year. Some neighborhoods will go up a little bit. Some neighborhoods might pull back, but average 3 to 5%. That's a standard type of year. Yeah. Exactly, right? No 20% increase or anything like that.
And what that looks like in dollars though, right? 3% of a million is $30,000.
Yeah.
You know, on 2 million, 3% is $60,000, right? So what Enrique is saying, hey, not really going to change much for your scenario. It's like, is really that 30,000 going to really hold you back from making a transaction?
Exactly.
That 60,000 on that $2 million sale going to make you, is going to hold you back?
And that's what I told them, right? Because they have a townhouse in Communication Hill and they want to move like to Roseville. So they want to sell this and go retire, move to Roseville. And their situation was they were hoping to sell and get enough money to buy a house cash, right? And they have about an $800,000 budget, $750,000, $800,000. I did the numbers and I'm like, look, conservatively speaking, you're probably going to get about 600,000. Like, so you're short. You're not going to be able to buy that house you want cash, right? I'm like, but if you take 500,000 and you put it as a down payment on that new house for 750, you only have a 250 mortgage. I did the math. I'm like, you're paying way less than what you're paying now, right? And you get a single story because they're getting older. They want a single story. I'm like, it still makes a lot of sense, you know? And so they're like, well, do you think it's, if we wait another year or two? And I'm like, well, let's add 50 grand more to that, right? Let's say it goes up 5%. Your house is worth around $1 million. 50,000 more, you're in the same boat, right?
And your Roseville went up.
And then the Roseville one also went up, right? And so I'm like, it doesn't really make sense, right? We don't predict like an anomaly year. If it makes sense now, and the numbers make sense, you should sell now. If that's ultimately what you want to do, you know? So I'm telling you this because that's how I take this information and then explain it in a real life scenario, right? You do the quick math and you say, hey, does 50 grand change everything? No, it doesn't really change anything. Okay, so then really think about, is it the right time for you guys to make the move?
The reason why you're moving.
Yeah, why are you moving, right? What's the whole motivation to move in the first place? And so they called me yesterday actually, and they said, hey, look at, you know, we've been looking at the numbers. We appreciate you being honest with us and really, you know, showing us realistic numbers. They go, we're going to wait a couple weeks because the wife is interviewing like a couple of jobs because she had lost her job. That was part of the motivation to make the move now. And so they go, we still want to move, but we're just trying to see if it's like now or the next couple months or what we're going to do. But I think the moral of the story is by you being honest with people and breaking it down for them, they're going to see like you're not just trying to sell them on listing their property, right? And they're like, we talk to other agents, but you're the one that's been most straightforward with us, honest. Like you weren't just trying to sell this high number, anything like that. Like we want to work with you. We just need to see when the timing's right, you know? Any questions, guys? Comments, feedback?
What about for buyers right now? What do you think for buyers? What do these stats say for buyers? How do you explain to buyers?
It's the flip, right? It's the same thing. It's like, hey, if the prices do go up 50 grand, what's the numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's similar, right? So then I go back to like, we're not focusing on the numbers. We're focusing on, does it make sense for you to buy a house right now? Like, is it the right time in your life to buy a house? Did you outgrow your condo and now you're tired of renting, right? You've thrown away all this money in renting the last 10 years. Now you want to invest, right? So the same numbers, because sometimes people think, well, I'm going to wait. Let's flip the coin. What if it went down 50,000,
There you go.
right? Let's do those numbers. Doesn't really change anything.
1,950,000.
Yeah, instead of $1 million, it's 950, a couple $100 on the payment. Is that really,
Not even that.
is your lifelong journey plans? Is that stopping off a couple $100, right? It's like, so sometimes you got to break it down for them, right? In the buyer perspective. And so when you take numbers like appreciation and you turn it into real life numbers, like what does it mean on that calculator? That's when like it hits them with the reality, right? That's why it's important to get on the call with the lender too. Because they see the news and then they don't really know what that means in terms of their pocket, right? And so that's the challenge we have, is taking like the headlines and turning it into reality, right? Yeah. Okay. I know I'm going off on a tangent, guys, but I think it's important to understand this, because if you want to succeed this year, when the market's kind of flat, you're going to have these types of conversations, right? More and more of these conversations are going to come up. The agent that can articulate this stuff, explain it, break it down on a simple piece of paper and just make it really easy to understand, in 5 minutes, those are the agents that are going to move people forward. If you're lost and you're like, I have no clue what Enrique is saying, okay, then you got some work to do, right? But try to take the complicated and make it easy to understand, and that'll help move more people forward, right? Okay. Mortgages, how are we looking? How are we starting off the new year with mortgages?
I posted the rates. I posted the rates in Slack. I mean, it's very similar from the last couple of weeks. Steve and I were talking today. I think if you have those clients that are on the fence, I would say, hey, let's get them at least pre-approved, so that when, again, if they identify a property, they can obviously move forward. But if the rates do adjust, we can go in and lock in. And that's a lot for our refinances right now. Right now, what we're telling our clients that need a refinance is get everything in. We'll have it ready when the rates do, come down a bit, then we can go to help them refi. On the purchase side for the buyers, I would say mainly, make sure they revisit the numbers. I put out a message in Slack on how to reach out to your clients for the new year, because a lot of us had clients saying, hey, listen, we want to wait till after the new year, wait till after the holiday. So again, leverage that. You're just calling them on that. Offer them what you can offer them and say, hey, let's run some numbers. Let's get you pre-approved. Let's see where you're at. Get a pulse on the mortgage market. And then the other thing, as a real estate agent, give them a pulse of what's happening in their area. Share these stats, right? If it's in Santa Clara County, Enrique already did the work for you. If it's in a different county, different area, start sharing these kind of stats with them, and then combine that with leveraging a value add with your loan officer.
Yeah.
And don't forget, guys, the buy downs are still very viable right now.
Still the thing.
I don't know how much I can stress about that. Every single client that we put in contract these last few weeks all got credit from the seller. That's free money from the seller that they're giving you in order to reduce your rate.
Right?
Yeah. What's that?
With Inicio, you got one in contract.
100% financing, $10,000 credit from the seller. I mean, you can't beat that. So at the end of the day, this client is walking in with maybe $3,000 out of his pocket to buy a brand new house, really nice house in Hollister.
Yeah.
$700,000 purchase price.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, you guys just gotta put it out there, get these clients in front of us, let us show them the numbers and show them how to really benefit. On the ones that get buy downs, I mean, we're getting rates in the 3s for the first year. There's no way they're gonna get a rate in the 3s anywhere right now, unless you're doing a buy down.
Yeah.
So
Buy downs, those are still clutch right now, right?
still very clutch.
I think it's going to be like that for a while, right? Brendan, yes, sir?
Buy downs, you're getting the rates in the 3s. Is that on like just jumbo loans only, or is that also just?
It just depends on the scenario, right? So on that scenario, it was an FHA. The rate is at 5.75. They're locked. Their rate, they got a 2-1 buy down, and they're getting a 3.75 now. And then the following year will be 4.75, and then back to 5.75 the third year. But by that time, they'll be able to get a lower rate in between.
And that buy down, paid by the buyer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Free money,
I mean, at
basically.
the end of the day, it's part of the transaction. Let's be real, okay?
It's baked
Part of
into the deal,
transaction is
basically.
a big picture, right? At the end of the day, I cannot reduce the price of a home on how much I can save you by getting that buy down.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. And I can show the numbers to prove it.
Yeah.
That's where you got to really look at.
And a big takeaway on the buy down that that people don't realize is that when you refinance, let's say you only kept it for 6 months, you don't lose that money from that buy down. That's applied to your closing costs, right? So that money's still yours. So, you know,
Principal.
if you get, you know, a $10,000 buy down and you only leverage it for like, let's say 6 months, and let's say you have 5,000 left from that buy down, they apply that to your refinance on your closing costs, right? So again, it's your money, right? So I think it's important for us to, again, you don't need to explain it, but I think to give you guys the confidence so that you do bring in the loan officer so they can explain those details to your client is extremely important.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Okay.
opportunities are out there, guys. You just have to go out and grab them. And the biggest thing is just get it in front of us. We'll help sell. Yeah.
So here's the challenge, guys, I have for all of you. All of you guys just heard some really good information, right? That's key to winning in this market, right? What are you going to do with that information? That's my challenge to you. Are you just going to hold that in and like, hey, I'll bring that up when I meet with the client, right? What should you be doing with that info, guys? Put it on social media, put it in content, and not just social media, in your emails to follow up with your clients, in your text message to your clients, in a one-off video, right? You can record a video. Hey guys, we've connected in the past. I wanted to give you an update. It's the new year. A lot of people are wondering, where's the market going? How's the market doing right now? Let me just break it down really quick, right? These are the current inventory stats. This is where the rates are at. These are some of the opportunities. We just had a rate in the 3s right now. This is where we think the market is headed. You know, hopefully this information can help you if you're thinking of buying or selling in the future. Give me a call and I can go over your exact scenario. Imagine if you made a quick video like that and then you just sent that one-to-one to every single lead that you have that you've been talking to in the last 6 months. Do you think that would spark some conversation, right? So it's not just social media, right? Because some of us are scared to be in front of social media, right? I get that. But you can make that video and you can use it for the one-to-ones. You can post the same video on social media. You can write that out in an email. Hey, ChatGPT, give me an email summary of this video, right? Blast that out to all your people. But remember, like the agent who speaks up and talks about this stuff and screams it out there and puts it out there, those are the ones who constantly win. Those are the ones who are constantly getting hit up by people. Hey, I saw that post you did. Hey, my cousin's thinking of buying. Hey, you know, how much do I need for a down payment? And that opens the door, right? And then the main thing, guys, is it has to be in your voice, right? That's the other thing. Like the infographics, all those little things are great, but that doesn't do the job of your own voice and your own flavor and your own tone of voice and all that stuff. Because when people meet you in person, they're not going to meet an infographic. They're going to meet you, right? And so I encourage you to use the graphics as tools, but don't substitute that also for your own voice, right? Of you being the one talking and saying it, right? And so if you just commit to that, guys, like you guys are learning this info and just commit to putting it out there, you're going to win, guys. It's going to move the needle forward this year.
Yeah, and I think just like, I mean, it's a new year, right? So you guys can put yourself out there saying, hey, after every Tuesday meeting, you know, I'm going to take one nugget from the meeting and I'm going to go ahead and post it out there, right? So again, some of us say, hey, you know, we don't know what to post and what to say. Just pull something that we grabbed from the meeting.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you know, I'm going to commit to every Tuesday posting something out there or sending out to my database. And then you get in the habit of doing it. I guarantee you, in about 6 weeks, it's gonna come a lot natural. Like
Yeah.
Can we send video text to FUB?
Yeah. You could send video text to FUB. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So you can record it, have it on your computer, and then just drag and drop it or upload it to the text message, right?
They just don't like you to mass.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't like doing mass and sending it, to a bunch of people, but you do one by one, right? You could definitely do that. All right. Let's see. Okay. Couple announcements, guys, and then I have kind of just some stuff I want to close with. This one. Okay, here we go. Okay, so reminder, guys, we have our New Year kickoff celebration. That's going to be on Friday, January 23rd. So in a couple weeks, it's going to be here in the office. So we're bringing in a decorator. We're going to turn this place into an event space, basically. It just made more financial sense to do that, guys, and we can do more for everybody if we do it here. And so I want to just remind everybody that we're going to give out awards and stuff like that. We'll have a DJ, we'll have drinks, we'll have food, all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be in the evening from like 6 to 10. So it'll be a fun time. Some of you guys were here last year. And so I'm looking forward to that. I will be putting out another, some sort of RSVP, because I do need to know how many people are going to come, because I need to make sure we have enough food and all that. If you want to bring a +1, you know, your significant other, definitely welcome. So I'll need to know, get a head count. So I'll put that out soon, guys, but just want to keep that on the top of your radar. Couple other things, guys, is I am working on updating some of our marketing collateral. So one of the things that Jason and I have been working on is just updating our buyer presentation, just to make it a lot simpler, right? And so I have a draft that's almost done, but I wanted to show you guys really quick. And then I'm going to be doing this, working on this with our listing presentation as well. Yeah. But this is now in the template section, our brand template. And I basically, what I did is I spent a couple hours taking our existing buyer presentation, running it through ChatGPT and saying, hey, how can I make this simpler, more effective, easier for our agents to learn and duplicate, really hit the points that matter most to the clients. And then I went back and forth, guys. This was what I was working on during the holidays, right? So even just from like having your picture on the front, even from the name, I ran the name, like give me 10 variations of the name that will make an impact, right? So the final name I came up with was Home Buying Consultation, but clear strategy for every market, because it applies right now, because the market is a little bit different in different areas right now, right? So clear strategy for every market. So right off the bat, you're letting them know like, hey, depending on the market, we have a strategy, right? I'll run through it really quick. Why we're here, really simple, right? This is what we're trying to accomplish today. Understand your goals, your timing, your priorities, explain how the buying process works, show you how we position you to win, determine if we're the right fit for you, and then by the end, there'll be a clear outline on next steps. About us, I made this page really simple as well. It's just bullet points of the team. And then this is the chance where you can talk about yourself, right? This is me personally. But I'm trying to think like, how can we get everyone to do this at a high level, right? It's by making it simpler, right? Your priorities and goals. So this is something that we didn't have really focused in the last buyer presentation, where we really spend time going over the buyer's goals and priority. We had a couple little things, but it wasn't really like highlighted. And so this is the slide that you're going to spend a lot of time on, where you build a lot of rapport. Where are you in the process, right? Are you a first-time buyer? Are you experienced? What's your ideal timeline? Describe your ideal home, right? And then, of course, you're going to go into detail and all that stuff, right? What matters most to you in this process? Is there anything we can do to make it easier, right? And so if it's important to you, it's important to us, right? Just like we have that in our listing presentation, I'm putting that in our buyer presentation. Today's market realities. This is where we're going to talk about the market, right? Brief overview on a market. What buyers need to understand right now. There's limited inventory, right, in desirable areas. There's strong competition on homes that are priced well. Every neighborhood is different, right? Sellers prioritize clean, confident offers. Strategy matters more than ever. The market rewards prepared, decisive, well-represented buyers. So remember, these are all bullet points, but you're also going to put your flavor into it. You're going to elaborate on certain points and stuff like that. But it's just a quick, like, so you don't miss anything. It's all there, right? And then the conversation will naturally flow if they have questions and everything, right?
So,
Mhm.
so even if we mention these bullets and just add 2-3 sentences.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You're supposed to add your own, you know, your own elaborations and sentences to it, right? Okay. How PRG creates a buyer advantage, right? So why buyers choose our team, deep local market insight, and then I'll elaborate a little bit, right? Proven strategies in competitive situations, strong agent to agent relationships, Zillow preferred leverage and exposure, access to off markets, all of our in-house vendors and lending partners, and then a team model, right, where there's more people that can support us in the transaction. The buying roadmap, right? The last one we had was like paragraphs and sentences, and it was like information overload. You know what ChatGPT said? It said, you have too much information. It says, this isn't a training seminar on how to buy a house. This is a presentation to get them to sign up with you. And so we're taking all of that info, and I'm going to put that on like a a buyer education sheet, a separate PDF that you can send them and say, hey, these are all the important terms you need to know. These are certain things that are going to come up later. Well, you know, stuff like that. But for our actual sales presentation, it's just like hit them with what they need and then get them to move forward. And then all that detailed stuff is going to come as you go through the transaction, right? Okay, so buying roadmap, right? 3 steps, simple, high-level process, high-level view of the process. Number 1 is we got to get clear on your financing. We got to have the right strategy and we got to understand your price range. That's the first thing. Number 2, we got to find a home and make the right offer, right? We're going to go look at homes. We're going to make the right offer at the right time. Number 3 is we got to close escrow, right? So we got to handle all the inspections, negotiations, closing details as smooth as possible. We're going to help you guys do this step by step, right? How we work together, right? So we took the complicated of trying to explain the buyer broker agreement and all that crap and made it in one simple page that just explains everything. So clear representation, clear expectations. So buyer representation, to fully represent you, we work under a buyer broker agreement. This allows me to advocate for you, negotiate on your behalf, protect your interest through the process. Compensation, it's already just written out there, right? We're going for 3%. You guys can edit that if you want, but I would edit it higher, not lower, right? So compensation is 3%. In most cases, the seller covers all of this or most of it. We will always negotiate on your behalf, and then the agreement is for 90 days. So I'm already just standard putting in the terms, so you guys don't have to like make shit up, basically, right? Just roll with it. It's already there, right? And then our PRG guarantees, right? 1-year home warranty, we cover it if the seller doesn't. Cancellation guarantee, hey, if you're not happy with me, cancel anytime. Sell for free guarantee, sell within the first 12 months. If you're not happy with the house, we'll help you relist it. We won't charge you a full listing fee, right? And then last but not least, next steps, final slide. Hey, moving forward with confidence. If you feel we're the right fit, we'll sign an agreement. We'll begin working for you. We'll set you up with the lender if you need a lender. We'll set a time to start looking at homes, and we'll position you to act quickly and confidently. Are you ready to start moving forward and shopping for homes? Right? I just gave you the buyer presentation right now. That was it. How long was that, guys? How long did that take? 8 minutes, right?
I want to thank you guys, because I was able to do a lot of buyer presentation within the last 25, right? This is something, Enrique and I, like he said, at the end of the year, we get to sit down and see what worked, what didn't work, and what we need to adjust. And this is something that we've been wanting to adjust. But it's important that we also practice what we preach. We also told you guys to sit back, do inventory of your year or your time as real estate agent, to do some inventory, to make some tweaks. Because the one we had, it did work. But now how can we make it better? How can we make it easier for our agents to learn? And how can we duplicate it? And again, so I want you guys to understand, we practice what we preach in regards to trying to fix these systems. We highly encourage you guys to do that as well. And give us the feedback, guys. We need that feedback. You guys are out in the field, and then Enrique and I can come back and make some tweaks.
Yeah.
No, this is really, really nice. I'm really excited to have you guys start using this.
Yeah, guys,
Question?
I think this is great, guys. I mean, for a lot of like the veterans and people that have been with us for a while, right? Eventually you get to this point where you start to shorten the presentation and you start to make it your own. So a lot of the tweaks that were made, first of all, I think it's amazing. I think it's fantastic, right? A lot of the tweaks that are being made right now, you'll see it from seasoned agents already, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll start to notice that a lot of the stuff just becomes a lot more complicated from the original buyer's presentation, and you start to kind of put your own flavor to it. This is probably here, like maybe a year into your career of doing buyer presentations, you're going to get to this point. The cool thing about it now is that Enrique now brought it to the forefront, so you don't have to take a year now to do this whole thing.
Yeah.
You're now dealing with what an actual veteran presenter will be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, don't get me wrong, the last buyer presentation, we closed over 800 transactions with that last one, right? So it got us to a certain point, but I do also realize that a lot of the success of that buyer presentation was the agent as well, like using their charisma, their own stuff. So I don't want our buyer presentation to rely on you being charismatic, right? Or you knowing just how to sell. I want to make it just like foolproof where we can duplicate and scale, right? So if we did 800 transactions with this, and we want to get to 2,000 transactions, it's going to require us simplifying to multiply, right?
Yeah, and again, if you could do the old one, you could definitely do this.
Yeah,
one.
if you can do the
So I
old one,
wanna
this one's
make sure
now,
that's
this
clear,
one's now
too.
easier.
The
New,
other one had like.
some of you guys are gonna like it. You're like, oh, this is way easier.
Yeah, I mean, the other one, was, it's a little more detailed, but again, like Enrique said, I like what he said is that for us, we've done over 800 transactions with that one. For us to get to that 2,000 mark, we have to kind of simplify things and be able to, when I onboard people, make it so simple where you guys are not afraid to take, 2-3 weeks to practice it. You guys can.
Oh
get it
no,
done
this is
within-
1 week.
Yeah, this is like you can get
Now
this done in a
going
couple
forward
weeks.
with this is within a week, you have to have this down if you join our team, right? Because it's so simple now, there's no reason why you can't have it done. Matt, what you have, bro?
Yeah, for me to, give you guys any feedback, it would be to add like optics. So like we say roadmap,
Mhm.
when you look at a map, it's more like this visual thing, but there's no like diagram or like, you can even do like a Candyland map.
Yeah.
I was even thinking about doing my own. I just don't know if you guys, maybe it's too much to put in there, but
Yeah, I mean, if we want to add like some graphics in there, I can definitely, that's a good feedback, just a visual, right, in there. But I would also encourage you guys to not try to reinvent the wheel, right? Because you also got to remember, just because you like certain things a certain way, that doesn't mean all people like it that way, right?
yeah.
There's going to be some buyers that don't care about the graphics, and there's going to be some buyers that love the graphics, right? So it's kind of like, what do you do, right? But I do think it's a good option.
And I think you can even put that in that, like you said, that packet at the end, right? The packet that you're gonna be handing them about the
Yeah.
process.
Like on the buyer education, it's going to be like a separate PDF. It can have now the detail, the roadmap and all that, right?
Yeah, that's just me, because I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm.
Mhm.
People focus on what you're saying in words, right? More on you, as opposed to kind of focusing on what's coming down or what the sheet actually says, right?
Yeah.
But I do think it's a valuable tool. I think you should have it at some point, thrown out. That makes sense.
And
Yeah.
To add to this, guys, everyone on the team is gonna have a folder in Canva, right?
Yeah.
In that folder in Canva, you're gonna have this designed for you, right? You'll have all the marketing is gonna be in there. So if you don't have a login for Canva or you haven't been in Canva, definitely reach out to myself and Enrique, because you guys, I know a lot of my newer agents that are joining, James is creating that marketing folder for you.
Yeah.
If you've been with us for a while, and you haven't seen it, there should be a folder with all your marketing material in there. And if you want to add anything in there, you can let James know and he could do
Yeah,
it.
so he's working on that now. So James, our VA that helps with the marketing, he's going to now do an audit and make sure everybody has a marketing kit, even some of our agents that have been with us for a while. And then he's going to update all the kits with this new presentation as well.
Awesome.
Right. So that's going to happen within the next, I would say, like week or two. Everybody
Would you
should
be able
have
to
that.
Show me, Cameron, what it looks like, just really quickly, just so I want them to get a visual.
Yeah.
So what to expect within the next, 14 days that each agent should have, right? I know
Yeah.
we have
So
a few.
in Canva, let's see.
There's gonna be like a folder.
Yeah. So when you guys log into Canva, into our team account, there should be folders. They're called agent marketing folders. So everybody will have their own folder here. So like, let's see, like Matt, I'm going to pull up Matt's. So Matt has his whole folder here in Canva that has the buyer consult, his templates for his signs, his templates for his yard sign, his business card template, his social media shout out, his email signature, his bio page, and his listing presentation, right? So everybody has that, right? Since we've been doing this for like the last maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
But some of the agents who came before that may not have it. So now I'm going to go back and make sure everybody has theirs. This way it's a quick, if you need to go print something out or access something, you have it there. And then he's going to update the buyer presentation also for everybody as well. Right. So you'll have the new version.
And this is a great place to host or to hold on to any other marketing pieces that you want.
Yeah.
Anything you create on your own or anything you have the team create for you, you can have it in this folder so you have access to it.
Yeah. So when
Organized.
when you create something, you can go on the file, move to folder, and then move it to your marketing folder. And then now all your stuff lives in that one folder. Right. Okay. Cool. Yes.
Since you condensed the buyer presentation,
Uh-huh.
are you gonna try to do that with the seller presentation?
Yes. That's my next step. Yeah. So the next step is I'm going to do the same exercise and try to condense the seller presentation as well, to make it match kind of that style. Right. So it's going to take a couple weeks, right? I'm going to have to squeeze some time. I'll make it a goal to try to have it done in the next 2 weeks. maybe 2.5 weeks.
I told Enrique to record him and ChatGPT having that conversation going back and forth.
Hey, it's a lot, dude. It's a iterations and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, what do we got? Okay, last thing I want to talk about, guys. We got about 7 minutes, so I'm going to end with this. It's kind of closing out. I mean, as a team, guys, I'm coming up with a theme for the year, but I think it's also an important practice for you guys to come up with your own theme for the year. I know just from my personal experience, when I set like an overarching theme for myself, like, hey, this is the year to like have more fun, or this is the year to, you know, grow personally, or this is the year to really like get serious about my business, whatever that is. It's really worked out because it's something that I can constantly refer to and remind myself. Because as we know, guys, as we go through the year, things start happening. We start getting distracted. We started off with one vision of what we were going to do. And then by like March, like we're already doing something else, right? And we completely threw that other thing away. And so I want to keep a vision for our team. And so I've been playing around with some ideas, but the theme that I'm going to be rolling out for this year, guys, is run the play, own the results. And the reason that I chose that one, right? Me and ChatGPT did a consultation and came up with like 20 different ideas because I really think that's the recipe for winning, right? If we look at the agents on our team who have consistently won and had success, it's because they were following the program. They were running the play, right? They weren't reinventing the wheel. They were just following like the process that we've already know works, right? So I think it's important to understand that, guys. If you want to have success in our business, especially in the beginning of your career, just run the play that already works, right? It's like if you were like on a football team, right? If you're on the, I don't know, if you're on the Niners, right? And the coach is coaching you to run certain plays and you're like, no, I'm going to do it this way, right? And he's like, dude, I won 4 Super Bowls with this, right? Like, right now, once you won the Super Bowl, then you want to start changing your plays. It's a different story. But for a lot of us, we're still trying to get to a point where we're just producing consistently, right? Or where we are producing consistently, we want to scale now. And so I think running the play, owning the result is really the theme that I'm going to continue to talk about. It's something I'm going to reference. When I see someone not running the play, I'm also going to bring that to their attention. But more importantly, when someone is running the play and they're having success, I'm going to really highlight that, right? Because that just further proves like if you just follow the plan, you're going to be more likely to hit the results. Does that make sense? So a couple notes, guys, that I just wanted to, have you guys think about as we enter the new year and to kind of set the tone, right? So the new year doesn't mean new results unless behaviors change, right? A new calendar, just because it's 2026, doesn't mean all of a sudden your business changes. It's really about your execution, right? So think about that. Most agents don't need more leads. They just need to follow the system, right? Raise your hand if you have a lot of leads already. A lot of us, right? If you have a lot of leads, right? Okay. So we don't necessarily need more leads. We just need to follow the system, right? Lead flow isn't the issue for most. The issue for a lot of people is lack of structure, consistency, and follow-up, right? Success this year, guys, is going to come from running the plays that we already have, not from doing this whole magic fancy thing. It's running the plays that we know that work, that are time-tested, tried and true, that have allowed us to do over 1,000 transactions already, right? No reason to reinvent the wheel. So we've already built the system, so don't reinvent, execute what's already proven. So the play that already exists, right? This is important right here. What's already existing in our playbook? So the first point here, guys, is just working the proven lead gen pillars. Like to me, like at the basic level, that's the play that we already know works. Your SOI in your database, right? If you post on social media, if you invite them to events, and if you pick up the phone and call and text your people that you've done business with, people that know you, you get business, right? That works, right? Online leads. We know Zillow works. Who's closed a deal from Zillow, right? Who's gotten referrals from a deal from Zillow? A lot of us, right? So we know that works, right? So why are we going to change that? Just, make that part of your lead gen, right? Redfin as well. That's something that we're trying to get up and running, but Zillow for sure works. Open houses. Who's gotten a deal by hosting an open house, right? They work, right? So we got to do open houses, right? So host as many as possible. And then we have like your other category, the pond. If you're prospecting in the pond, we got ISA setting appointments now. We have internal referrals, right? Sometimes we hand you a client, the lending department handles the client, or you get a referral from an EXP agent or another brokerage. And then targeted prospecting, right? Some of you guys that want to prospect certain neighborhoods or door knock or pick up the phone or around your listing, like we know that works, right? So just run the play. Are there other lead generation pillars out there, guys? Yeah, like there's a lot of them, right? There's all kinds of ways to get leads, but that hasn't been proven and time tested on our team. So I would encourage you to not try to like venture into something else. Just go with the ones that we already know work. And there's several of them, right? And just do a little bit of everything. So that's working the proven lead gen pillars. Your activity and follow-up boss, right? This is part of running the play. You got to keep your follow-up boss clean. You got to use the smart list so you know who to call and when to call them, and you got to track your conversations. If you're not tracking how many people you talk to every week, then how do you know if that was a great week, right? So tracking your dials, tracking how many people you talk to, appointments set, stuff like that. You need to, have a pulse on where your business is at and what it's doing, right? The presentations. I just showed you guys the new buyer presentation. We have a listing presentation. We have sold a lot of deals with those presentations. So I wouldn't reinvent the wheel and create a whole new presentation. I would just use what works, right? Use it, master it because it works, right? The other thing is leveraging the admin team, right? Why do we want to leverage the admin team? Well, because it frees up your time so you can focus on income producing activity. So if you're not using our admin team and you're not like passing stuff off when you can, and you're just choosing to do that extra work, you're just wasting time, right? Because someone else can help you do that. Now, is our admin team perfect? No, we're humans, right? We're not supposed to be perfect. Are we constantly trying to improve? Yes, right? I meet with Andre all the time. Like, hey, we can just start doing more of this, more of that, less of this, right? There's always constant improvement, right? But I know they can help you and take time off of your plate, right? Or give you time back so that you can focus on more transactions. Training and accountability, guys. Showing up consistently to training, whether you're in person or whether you're on Zoom. If you show up consistently to training, not only do you learn stuff, but a lot of times it reminds you of stuff, right? And it reinforces stuff that you're already doing. And it also keeps you in rhythm, right? Of like, hey, I know I got to show up to training. It keeps you in the game, right? It's like football teams have practice, right? They practice in the off season, they practice in the on season. They don't just stop practicing, right? Because they want to stay in momentum, right? Now, here's the other thing I want to say about training. Is our training going to be world class? Like you just learned something that you've never heard before? Yes or no, Rob?
The answer is no.
The answer is no. 99% of the time, what we talk about in training is not something new. It's something that works, and we want to continue to master it and drill it and repeat it and, achieve mastery, right? So that's the other thing. Now, are there situations where you have a question or scenarios and you're like, hey, I need help with this? Yeah, that's something new. But for the majority of the time, guys, training is designed to just remind you of the things that work that we tend to forget, right? And so I also want to set the right expectation. Now, if you want specialized training on certain topics, stuff like that, definitely bring them to me. Or we have resources at EXP where, like, if you want to learn about commercial real estate, they do trainings on just commercial real estate. You want to learn about like designations or just the purchase contract, we have hundreds of hours a week of training through EXP that you can get on that stuff.
And again, the training, I think, again, obviously we have our PRG training, we have the EXP training, we have the fast forward training, we have training with Zillow, right? We have all these different toolboxes. So if you guys want a certain type of training, let us know. We'll direct you where to find it.
So much.
A lot of times you don't have to even pay for it. It's within our toolbox.
Yeah, 100%. There's so much training, guys, out there. Okay, I'm almost done. So it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, right? Focusing on the right habits, the right inputs, and consistent execution. So the theme is like, don't overcomplicate stuff. Just simplify and then repeat that every single week, right? Example, right? If you want to make 250,000 or 400,000, there's a proven formula. We just run the math, right? It tells you like, this is how many people I got to talk to. This is what I got to do. You just got to run the play now, right? And so there's no, like, we take the guesswork out, right? If you want to go from 5 to 10 deals or from 10 to 24, right? You're going to want to leverage your time, the systems, and the support. You don't want to just hustle blindly. You want to, work in sync with the tools and resources that we have so you're effective and you can scale, right? And so that's really important as well. So in closing, guys, no excuses, no blame this year, right? If goals are missed, Whose fault is it? It's your fault, right? Don't blame the leads. Don't blame the market or the time of the year, because we already see there's people selling a lot of homes even in the up and down years, right? So it's doable, right? Now, if no one was selling homes, that'd be a different story, but there's people that are crushing it right now. I want you to always ask yourself, did I run the play consistently? Did I stay on script? Or did I try to create this whole other thing, right? And so what's going to win, guys, in 2026? Simplicity, consistency, clarity, accountability, and focused execution on what already works, right? No new shit this year. Just double down on what works, right? Okay, that's the theme, guys, for the year. Really quick, 3 takeaways. What'd you guys take away from this today? How about this? Everybody in Slack, because this is where we're going to end. Could you just go in Slack? And what'd you take away from today, right? From the theme, from the message, from everything we talked about? What was your biggest takeaway or a nugget that stood out with you? And then we are wrapped up. Just drop something in Slack. Give me a line. What stood out to you from today's meeting? Love it. Matt said, keep it simple, run the play. Blanca, run the play. 2026 year running the play. Own the result. Be consistent. Don't reinvent the wheel. New buyer presentation. Keep to the script. Stay consistent. Keep it simple. Stay consistent. Consistency. Just run the play. Consistency. Everything is my fault. Love that. Because keep it simple. Follow the process. I heard the echo of do not overcomplicate things. Simply to take action. Run the play. Don't reinvent the wheel. Be consistent. Keep it simple. No need to reinvent the wheel. Do not make it complicated. Simplicity is key. Is the 3% going to make a difference in the move this year? Yeah. Good stuff, Sri. That's a great conversation to have with your buyers and sellers. Is that really going to make a difference? Meghana, run the play. Consistent. I love it. I love it. My biggest takeaway, and I'll end with this, guys, we have an amazing team. We have some awesome individuals in here. I appreciate you guys all, guys. I'm feeling pumped and excited for 2026. We're here to support you. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to push people out of their comfort zone because we want to see everybody win. And if you need something, guys, please come to us. Please ask, right? The last thing we want to do is like, hey, you're struggling or you don't have something you need and we don't know about it. Remember, we can't read minds. We're great, but we're not that great, right? We're not magicians where we can read your mind. So if something's going on with you, or if you need to talk, or you need to push, or you need a strategy session or whatever that might be, yeah, we're going to reach out to you guys, but also reach out to us, right? We don't bite. We're here to help you win. If you win, we win, right? So let's clap it up for that, guys. Let's go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys that showed up here to the office.
Thanks, guys.
Enrique, Jason, can I borrow you like 2 seconds before we all log off?
Yes, borrow
I
us.
just,
Let me.
I just want to clarify that I disappeared for a little bit. I just got really sick. It's not that I'm not serious or that I don't want to be here.
Oh.
I've been in and out of urgent care, so I think I'm getting over it now. I mean, you can hear it in my voice, and you probably saw me like coughing a bunch during the meeting, but yeah, that's what's going on with me. I didn't disappear. I didn't go on vacation. I know I should have reached out. I should have reached out and told you guys, but like I couldn't even sit up. Like I've just been sick, so I'm back now and trying to catch up.
Okay.
So
yeah, all good, Krista. I hope you feel better. I know how that is.
I'll reach out to you, Chris. I just got your message right now, so I'll reach out to you by the end of today, and we'll set some time up, and we'll reconnect, and I'll get you all situated.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, like I said, I just want to clarify, it wasn't intentional. I wanted to be here. I just could not be here. So
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. No, we totally understand. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
All
Have
right,
a good
get
day.
some rest, all right. All right, y'all.